There's a tremendous amount of information available on how to stay healthy. Don't put it off. Do it now. When we get older, we want to feel wonderful so we can continue to experience new adventures. I read something a while ago that intrigued me. It was an article about a San Francisco medical school that had discovered that the way we age is not determined by genes, but by something they call the aging set point, a biological time clock that exists in our minds. This mechanism actually monitors when and how we begin to age. The set point or aging clock is regulated in great part by one important factor, our attitudes towards getting old. For instance, if you believe that 35 is middle-aged, that belief triggers biological changes in your body that cause it to accelerate the aging process when you reach 35. Isn't that fascinating? Somewhere, somehow, we decide what is middle age and what is old age. Where are you setting that aging set point within you? I have this image in my mind that I'm going to live to be 96 years and still be active, so it's very important that I keep myself healthy. Remember, too, what we give out, we get back. Be aware of how you treat older people, because when you get old, that will be the way you are treated. If you believe certain concepts about old people, again, you are forming ideas that your subconscious will respond to. Our beliefs, our thoughts, our concepts about life and about ourselves always become true for us. Remember, I believe that you choose your parents before you were born in order to learn valuable lessons. Your higher self knew the experiences that were necessary for you to proceed on your spiritual course. So whatever you came to work out with your parents, get on with it. No matter what they say or do or said or did, you are here ultimately to love yourself. As parents, allow your children to love themselves by giving them the space to feel safe and to express themselves in positive, harmless ways. Remember, too, just as we choose our parents, our children also chose us. There are important lessons for all of us to work out. Parents who love themselves will find it easier to teach their children about self-love. When we feel good about ourselves, we can teach our children self-worth by example. The more we work on loving ourselves, the more our children will realize that it's an okay thing to do. Part 4. Applying your inner wisdom. All the theories in the world are useless unless there is action, positive change, and finally, healing. Chapter 11. Receiving prosperity. When we get frightened, we want to control everything, and then we shut off the flow of good. Trust life. Everything we need is here for us. The power within us is willing to give us our fondest dreams and enormous plenty instantaneously. The problem is that we are not open to receiving it. If we want something, our higher power doesn't say, "I'll think about it." It readily responds and sends it through. But we have to be ready for it. If not, it goes back into the storehouse of unfulfilled desires. Many people come to my lectures and sit with their arms folded across their bodies. And I think, how are they going to let anything in? It's a wonderful symbolic gesture to open our arms wide so the universe notices and responds. For many it's very scary, because if they open themselves up, they will think they may get terrible things. And they probably will, until they change whatever it is inside them that believes they will attract doom and gloom. When we use the term prosperity, a lot of people immediately think of money. However, there are many other concepts that come under the auspices of prosperity, such as time, love, success, comfort, beauty, knowledge, relationships, health, and of course money. If you are always feeling rushed because there isn't enough time to do everything you want, then you have a lack of time. You are poor in time. If you feel that success is beyond your reach, then you are not going to get it. If you feel life is burdensome and strenuous, then you will always feel uncomfortable. If you think you don't know very much and you're too dumb to figure things out, you will never feel connected to the wisdom of the universe. If you feel a lack of love and have poor relationships, then it will be difficult for you to attract love into your life. What about beauty? There is beauty all around us. Do you experience the beauty that is abundant on the planet? Or do you see everything as ugly and wasteful and dirty? How is your health? Are you sick all the time? Do you catch colds easily? Do you get many aches and pains? And then there is money. Many of you tell me there is never enough money in your lives. What do you let yourself have? Or perhaps you feel you are on a fixed income. Who fixed it? None of the above has anything to do with receiving. People always think, oh, I want to get this and that and whatever. However, abundance and prosperity is about allowing yourself to accept. When you are not getting what you want, on some level, you are not allowing yourself to accept. If we are stingy with life, then life will be stingy with us. If we steal from life, life will steal from us. Being honest with ourselves. Honesty is a word we use a lot, not always understanding the true significance of what it means to be honest. It has nothing to do with morality or being a goody-goody. Being honest really has little to do with getting caught or going to jail. It is an act of love for ourselves. The main value of honesty is that whatever we give out in life, we will get back. The law of cause and effect is always operating on all levels. If we belittle or judge others, then we too are judged. If we are always angry, then we encounter anger wherever we go. The love we have for ourselves keeps us in tune with the love life has for us. For instance, imagine that your apartment has just been burglarized. Do you immediately think that you're a victim? My apartment was just ripped off. Who did this to me? It is a devastating feeling when something like that happens. However, do you stop to think of how and why you attracted the experience? Again, taking responsibility for creating our own experiences is not an idea that many of us want to accept all the time, perhaps just some of the time. It is so much easier to blame something outside of ourselves. Yet our spiritual growth cannot occur until we recognize that there is little of value outside of us. Everything comes from within. When I hear that someone has just been robbed or experienced some kind of loss, the first question I ask is, whom did you steal from lately? If a curious look comes over their face, I know I have touched a tender spot. If we think back to a time when we took something and then think of what we lost shortly thereafter, the connection between the two experiences can be an eye-opener. When we take something that isn't ours, we almost always lose something of greater value. We might take money or some object, and then we might lose a relationship. If we steal a relationship, we might lose a job. If we lift stamps and pens from the office, we might miss a train or a dinner date. The losses almost always hurt us in some important area of our lives. It's unfortunate that many people steal from large companies, department stores, restaurants, or hotels, and so on, rationalizing that these businesses can afford it. This type of rationalization does not work. The law of cause and effect continues to operate for each one of us. If we take, we lose. If we give, we get. It cannot be otherwise.